This is the market update, the alt season, hot summer in the sun market update. The Solana sunshine is shining on Ethereum, which will then shine on all altcoins. Could you have a 45-day alt season? I have been advocating DCA in May. That was working all weekend, in fact. God, these dips, they were awful. And you may continue to see awful dips. Good. Meanwhile, all this talk, oh, the cycle's over. Oh, Bitcoin ETF is a bust. Wrong. Real world assets and DeFi are going to take off with lightning speed. The price action in Ondo is telling you that. Solana is going to lead Ethereum. We have the charts. Don't go anywhere. Bitcoin. The street doesn't have all the Bitcoin that they have to back the Bitcoin ETF. I can't prove that, but that's my suspicion. Bottom line, BlackRock's got more buying to do in Bitcoin, and I don't think they've even started buying yet in Ethereum. They are all going after, as in all of the ETF players, they're going after both of those coins. And when ETH goes, all the talk about no cycle and blah, 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 yeah, that's going to go away real quick. You see Ethereum trading with a 4,000 handle, you're going to have FOMO in this market like you don't know. Meantime, they keep giving you dips, Doge, etc. Okay. Now, that's the social media friendly version. There is a more aggressive version where we talk about meme coins, not just meme coins about dogs and cats, but meme coins about people. Which people? Well, you'll just have to check out my Patreon to find out, right? This show is brought to you by my Patreon. Those subscribers in there bring you this free content, and in return, they get the 6th Street podcast, which is both coaching, editorial commentary, and like charts, but just verbally. Plus charts in the actual Patreon itself, almost like a Twitter post. Here we have this QR code you can scan with your phone. The link is down below. Altcoins, charts, coaching, podcasts, kind of like the market update, like 20 minutes in your car, quick, fast. Plus, we can talk about all the things that you can't talk about. What can't we talk about? Oh, I don't know. How about November? How about how much money people have borrowed, entities have borrowed? How about paper money? How about that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. There is plenty to talk about. We're going to do the best we can today because I love you guys. But for $15 a month, frankly, just come on over and chill with us because this is about to get real. It is about to get real. Okay. Again, check out the links. The links are in the chat and down below. Welcoming who's here. Paul, the sports hobbyist, welcome. Text Media, forget about it. Reminding you to hit that like button. If you're in Patreon, hit the like button. If you can't do Patreon, hit the like button. Steve J is here. The guy who never gave up on DeFi. Possible legend. T-Bone. Time for Bitcoin mining, buddy. Time for Bitcoin mining and some of those human meme coins that you got. Right on. Philip is here. Welcome. With the Notorious Love. Israel, Patriot Caveman. Sledgehammer. Bart, Gian. Welcome. Indy Rocks Crypto. XAG to $50. Gold miners are breaking out, by the way, massively. Like the smartest person I know in the world is talking about that and about this weird thing that's out there that in order to stop inflation, the Fed is actually going to have to cut rates. Yes, believe it or not, I just said that. I've got that in the PowerPoint. For goodness sakes, don't go anywhere. Scott Warren welcoming the Spartans. Willimeter is in the house. Noah, Patriot Caveman. He's got 2 I got to get to. Don't let me forget. 23 is here. Welcome. Welcome to the show. We've got Morpheus looking at Ponke. You know what? I like that. I like that. There are some small cap memes like Ponke, Harami, Ponke, Harambe. Somebody help me with the pronunciation. I saw Giga Chad. Again, this is not investment advice, but there are memes out there. Not all of them are dogs and cats. Meme market cap has nowhere to go but up. And of course, there's Doge. We'll get to that. Steve J, total 3 weekly cup and handle. Dude is cup and handle everywhere, including my personal favorite meme coin, Donato, Deepak, Laughing Dolphin. Welcome. Based USA. Yes, there is a USA token. Okay, rocking news now. Okay, so meme coins, the good, the bad, and the ugly, an article from CoinGecko. Notice who's over here. You know, we got our Pepe, we got our Bonk, both of which have good-looking charts, so don't go anywhere for that. You know, new highs possible in each one of them. And then there are these guys over here, serious and silly. You know, I'm taking it on the chin on live stream numbers because I'm talking about it even on Twitter. So if you're out there, the like button really does matter now more than ever in order to get the right information. Patreon also a really good idea. Okay, so has Uncle Sugar borrowed too much money? Well, the answer to that is yes. So the deficit itself is headed to 6% of GDP, and a lot of that is just to pay the interest. So a brief reminder, if you borrow too much money, the only solution to borrowing too much money at the sovereign level is for the currency to go down. It doesn't have to go to zero, but it has to be a steady downtrend, the bigger the debt problem. So if you have green paper falling, gold rising, silver rising, that right there is the case for ETH just by itself. And of course, it's a case for the entire crypto universe, for Bitcoin and Ethereum and other forms of money, including Solana, to become money. And then, of course, there's the technology aspect of crypto. The AI, Routine Cheese, and T-Bone are reminding you that injective protocol is about to melt faces. I will make sure I look at the chart. Now, remember, injective protocol, Solana, they led the way on the way up. You see Rune get involved. This turns into a full out. This could turn into a full out 2-week alt season at a minimum. There have been big reversals and big turns in the market around the consensus conference at the end of the month, right? My guy speaks on the last day. Novogratz, Kathy Wood, those are just the ones that I can remember. You think these people are going to these conferences without catalysts? They're bringing the noise. They're bringing the noise, including my guy. You're going to have to go to my Twitter to see what my guy is. I'll maybe drop some more hints. Dollar lower. Okay. Economists worried about tariffs and trade wars. They've already decided that if there's a change in leadership in the month after October, that is, oh my God. The oh my God is everywhere. Oh my God is everywhere. What isn't everywhere is optimism. How about a positive attitude about crypto? Wanted. Japanese firms' advice on AI, trade, and crypto. Legal experts are talking about regulation. Actually, people, what we need is the free market to do its thing. Yes, we don't want people to lose money. You know, we don't like all this rug chain action that's always going on, but we need the free market. I'd read this book, but it may be too sad. Men Without Work, the Invisible Crisis. I call it the underemployment rate. In other words, we're creating part-time jobs that are getting filled like lightning. Where's the full-time work? Dudes may not have jobs. Dudes may be giving up. There's no way you can keep interest rates at 5% with this going on. And there's no way you can keep Bitcoin below 100. Yeah, I just said that. There's no way you can have this or you can have this and have Bitcoin below 100. You just can't. Now, how long does that take to figure out? I don't know. Maybe it takes 3 months. Maybe it takes December. I don't know. Why don't we just do it now? You know, maybe June's a slow month for Bitcoin. Alts go, and then Bitcoin just goes. Meanwhile, green paper, gold, silver, again, the recipe for ETH. Solana outperformance, unbelievable. Now, here we have this guy. Jamie, BlackRock ate your lunch. BlackRock ate your lunch. Yeah, congratulations. You're now the most second famous guy in Wall Street. Okay, now here we go. Down at the bottom. Okay. Higher rates have mixed implications. On the downside, they mean higher payments for your mortgage, but on the upside, they mean higher income from your savings. We'll talk about that. Okay. Jamie is in here basically saying he thinks interest rates are going to be higher for a very long time. And if that's the case, something bad is going to happen, perhaps in the credit markets. I lost the exact quote, but Jamie has been wrong. Jamie has been talking about higher rates for longer. Higher rates have not stopped inflation, and they won't. What's going to stop inflation is if something goes wrong. And the Fed has to do an emergency cut. And whatever that something is that goes wrong, that's what puts the brakes on everything. And this is insanely pro-crypto. Here it is from the Eagle King. On the fly. CEO Dimon, inflation is not going away, meaning bank-crushing interest rates aren't going away. Neither are 8% mortgages. There's a lot of inflationary forces out in front of us. The sky is falling. Chicken Little suits zipped up. Pop the head on. Inflation's not going to go away. And if you have higher rates and, God forbid, stagflation, you will see stress in real estate, leverage companies, and private credit. Hey, guys, we're going to have stress. We already have stress in real estate, leverage company, and private credit, which is why you're going to wake up one day and it's going to be rates down, Fed dovish, dollar lower, Bitcoin higher, and they're doing it already. And they were selling it all weekend, right? It was like, oh, you know, last week it was like, sell it, buy it. Then over the weekend, it was like, sell it, and now it's buy it. Let me tell you something. Inflation will be with us, which is why there will always be a bid for gold and silver. However, this interest rate plan has not worked, and they know it. And they know it. I mean, let's just go to the obvious. Where is it? Where is this thing about? Is this it? Yeah, okay. U.S. household debt has soared to $17.7 trillion. The alarming increase underscores pressure on families. It's not working, and he knows it. And he knows it. It's not working, right? Sometimes I wonder if it was actually ever meant to work. I mean, they had to do something. I get it. Whether you like that guy or whether he's a good guy or he's not a good guy. Credit card interest rates, people are just going to start walking away. They've already started walking away. They got to cut rates. Now, they're probably going to wait for something to happen, and something is going to happen. Hopefully, for their sake, it happens before the political conventions. Everyone's like, oh, they're not tight. We're going to hike rates, blah, blah. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to cut in July because you have to. No one's talking about July. It was like, maybe September. Yeah, they're going to do something before July because something's going to happen before July. And you know how you know that? Because crypto has started to move. 68K Bitcoin. It's like there was never a crash. It's like it never happened. Okay. The guy whose picture this is, whose first name is Julian, is actually going to get a hearing in court. Wow, how nice. Let me tell you something. This guy, a guy named Joe, a guy named Carlson, these guys are having an impact. And the little man is beginning to push back against the big man in a very big way Because you know what? There's a funny thing out there. Truth. The only thing you can't censor is price. The people that they have censored are rising to the forefront. And you know what people are going to discover? Something I've been talking about in prior videos. The green button. See this guy's face? Hit the green button. See this guy's face? Hit the green button. Just hit it. It's not investment advice. ETF issuer Grayscale hires guy from Goldman. Okay, when you hire somebody from Goldman, you mean business. I know it's not like it was 10 years ago, but that's the fact of the matter. Grayscale sat around and they were in a situation where, BlackRock ate their lunch. Here's a question for you about Bitcoin ETFs. Do you think the other 8 players in the Bitcoin ETF industry are just going to sit around and watch IBIT become the gold standard? They're just all going to sit around and watch their ETFs language? No, they're not. They're absolutely not. Wall Street's going to go full court press, and the higher it goes, Wall Street loves nothing more, including people in stocks, than buy high, sell higher. They love it. They're going to push their ETFs. I don't even know if they've got enough Bitcoin to back the ETFs they've got now. Show me the Bitcoin back in a lot of these ETFs. Show it to me. I think only one player is actually showing it. So they may have to buy Bitcoin, and we know they have to buy Ethereum because there's going to be an Ethereum ETF. And they haven't started that yet because the Ethereum price action is pathetic. Now, Solana is going to end that. But when you see stuff like this in the Bitcoin ETF, kind of bringing it back, Wall Street is serious. Big pension funds who are fully aware of the macro backdrop I just gave you. In other words, if I know it and you know it now, you think these guys in the suits don't know it? You think does this guy look like a guy who doesn't know his macro? What do you think? Yeah. And everyone on crypto Twitter is like, oh, the cycle's over. Oh, dude, we haven't had the cycle yet. The cycle's going to last 10 years. Look at this. This is the distribution of 21 million Bitcoin, 20% loss, 58% held in the hands of individuals. And look at this. Miners have only got 3%. Corporations, it's Michael Saylor, they have 3 or 4%. Bitcoin ETF only has 3%. Where are they going to get all this Bitcoin from? They're definitely going to have to buy the miners, and they're definitely going to have to buy MicroStrategy. And they're probably going to have to bid it up over 100K to get you to part with your Bitcoin. I mean, this chart, we could do this chart in elevator. I got this new thing. It's called the elevator market update. Hey, elevator market update. Hey, look at this. Where are they going to get all this Bitcoin from? Hey, have a good day. That's the market update. That's it. Seriously. Okay. So we still don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. I don't know that we need to. All I know is that somebody in 2008 felt the need to have a different form of money. 2008 was that scary. And they made a new form of money, and now we're just kind of getting it. We're just kind of getting it now. Meme coins still have plenty of upside. Oh, and look, a certain trader predicts that certain meme coins of humans could dominate what happens the month after October. And he's telling you that you better get busy on Dogecoin. Jack, have we heard this anywhere? I think we have. I think we've heard it from me. I think there's another guy on Twitter who's saying it. I'm saying it loud and proud. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is on some of this stuff. Not these two, but somewhere else. Anybody who's been on my Twitter, you know where. Okay, so the NYAG gets $2 billion from Genesis. Man, they love to talk about 2022, don't they? So as long as they're talking about 2022, I want to be long. Honestly. De-dollarization, the BRICS countries. So green paper, number go down, DXY down, not massively, but It's happening. I covered that last market update. I'm going to show the chart again. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to this BRICS thing. However, if you start having a dollar down move, oops, I said it, that these BRICS stories will feed into that. It'll be like news flow for the trend. The greatest thing that can happen in crypto is a normal, steady dollar downtrend. And believe it or not, the dollar actually going lower is good for risk assets. When everyone hides in the dollar, when everyone runs into the dollar and wants a 5% interest rate on a 3-month treasury bill, it's no good. The world is no good. When everyone goes, you know what, I want to come out of dollars and I want to come into emerging market currencies and I want to invest in like Latin America, Asia, and Africa, that means legacy risk appetite goes up. So lower dollar in a way is not in a way, it is good for risk assets. When the dollar topped in 2002, oh my, like the whole tech sector, like that was the bottom of like everything back then. So any headlines that feed in the number go down on the green paper front, watch out. Okay, let's see who else is here. Pancakes and peanut butter in the house, reminding you about the like button. Okay, Bob Marsh says Uncle Sugar is the second largest holder of Bitcoin. Okay, now I don't know why that is. You know, but I wouldn't be surprised if it winds up on central bank balance sheets after a while. It's going to have to. I mean, if basically every corporation, every pension fund, every mutual fund, every sovereign wealth fund is dealing in the currency is going to have to be held by central banks. Now, also, Uncle Sam may wind up being the only source of real liquidity in Bitcoin. So I don't know if they're going to sell it on the open market to try to keep the price down. Who cares? You know, or maybe you're just going to call them up and say, hey, can you give me a price? I need a bunch. I mean, I'm sure that's what Larry's going to do. Larry could do that. Like, hey, we got the CTF. Can you give me a price? And can we get some of that Bitcoin over here? The bottom line is the sources of Bitcoin are extremely limited. Extremely limited. T451. Okay. Koval, Jasmy, and VeChain. I'll do my best. Willimeter says coffee money for Notorious. Crypto Hoops says dump after consensus. Great filibuster with the super chat. Willimeter with the super chat. Thank you. I appreciate that sincerely. There might be a dump after consensus. You may get dips. You know, Bitcoin may not perform the way other coins are. Good. You know, good. You know, if they want to get hysterical about CPI and old news and the Fed meeting in June, you know, you always have these hysterics around all this Fed stuff. You know what? In legacy, these oh my God things, they matter less and less and less. Like, oh, here's a geopolitical problem. That's a problem for 2 weeks. Okay, here's an inflation problem. Okay, that's a problem for 5 days. Here's another oh my God. Okay, that's a problem for an afternoon. Meanwhile, they're just realizing that the case for crypto is just so compelling. You know, like, are you really going to make anything using AI and then not confirm who owns it on the blockchain? That's virtual. Really? Is that how it's going to work? AI and blockchain don't go together? Are you kidding me? Of course it does. That's what Novogratz is going to say. Novogratz is going to get up on the stage and go, if you're not long AI, you're short the coins. That's what he said about Bitcoin a long time ago. And that's what he's going to say at the bottom of the AI coins. And the AI market's just going to smoke. I've been looking at PAL. You know, we've got coins. We've got a store in Patreon. Like, going with kind of a much more chill on Patreon. We have a store. So if you're allergic to monthly stuff, then, you know, like I have the human meme coin report in there, which not that many people bought. That's been absolutely right as rain. That's got all kinds of stuff about how this is going to play out, upside price targets. We got fast altcoin reports in there. A lot of stuff that you know, that's on sale. So, you know, go check that out. We'll do as much as we can on the live stream. You know, Spinachi 7 is here. And you know what? He's got a human meme coin. Perhaps one of the best, greatest humans ever. Maybe not perhaps, right? So we don't want to talk about that on the air. It's afraid of the algorithm, but that is going to happen. What can't you talk about at the dinner table on Thanksgiving? What happens in November and what you do on Sunday or Saturday, right? You following me? You feeling me? You picking up what I'm putting down? You could have monster meme coins in the two things you cannot talk about at the dinner table, if for no other reason, because you can't talk about them. You can't talk about them. Okay, Javier wants to know about Solana. If Solana goes above 180, it's going to go to 250. If Solana pauses at 180, the bid is going to move over to ETH. That's the quick version. Now I'm going to PowerPoint. Bull Runner is here. A loyal market update soldier. Appreciate you, sir, and all the other Spartans from that group. You can't possibly know how much I appreciate it. Okay, Ansem says, I feel like I'm crazy. How do people not see this? A reminder from the guy that runs Zero Hedge 2 or 3 days ago. I don't comprehend the I don't think you comprehend the enormity of what's about to happen here in crypto. A couple of triggers away from the biggest hyper aggressive risk on altcoin rebirth. It will dwarf any historical cycle. Wait, you mean there's a macro case, a micro case, and the whole thing is on sale, and people think the cycle's over? Memes are done. Everything's done. Done. ETH done. Everything is done. No. When people think it's done, it's going so much higher than anyone thinks. And if there's a coiling process in June, good. I mean, seriously, if they take it up at the end of May and then they take it back down in June, it's just another way to get more, honestly. And with ETH, I'm sitting here looking at ETH. I mean, what, ETH was below 3,000? Are we doing that? We did that again for like what, a week? It couldn't get above 3,000. It's going to 7, in my not so humble opinion. Okay. There's something I'm going to have to get it from my Twitter. I'm going to switch off this and go to my Twitter. There's a guy from BlackRock. So, he's probably not that smart, right? Right. So there's a guy from BlackRock who's telling people, BlackRock Global CIO of fixed income takes the contrarian position that the Fed will need to cut rates to tame inflation. Share my screen. The CIO of BlackRock's bond market department is quoting something from modern monetary theory, which is, a very unique and weird way of looking at the world. But he's basically saying that by having interest rates so high, you're handing everyone tons of money. You're handing people massive amounts of interest income. You're making the rich richer. So lower rates, stop the suffering on the low end, and basically take money away from the high end. Now, if I had said that, which I have said that, like they have to cut rates. High rates are not working. This guy is one step more radical, but again, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with being the guy in the khaki shirt that's ahead of the guy in the $1,800 sport jacket. I'm cool with that. I like it that way. Right? I like to lead, not follow. But this guy is telling you. He is telling you. Like when are guys like this from BlackRock? The chief investment officer at BlackRock, he doesn't have contacts at central banks? You think? Doesn't eat lunch with any economists that work in the public sector. Huh. Yeah. That's what those guys do. Just so you know. Chief economists, CIOs, they're the big guys. They're the big guys. And a lot of it is about, obviously you have to be a genius. Obviously you have to be a shark. But it's about who you can eat lunch with. Ethereum and the dollar. So Dixie topped in 2023. And then it turned around 13 days later. Okay, on the screen share. 13 days later, Ethereum went up. Here's the Ethereum bottom in 2023. 13 days after the top in the dollar. Dollar tops in 2024. 13 days later, Ethereum got perky. And look at this. Ethereum, like over here, ETH was sideways. Over here, they just absolutely like smashed it. They smashed it. And it never got up off the mat until now. Okay, so ETH, these numbers, I'll give it to you simply. You could be up today and 3 more days in ETH before a pause. Like this thing in ETH could accelerate. These 3 days look like a pause. And this rally could accelerate. You take out 3190, that's the DeMark moving average. These moving averages are generated by a quantitative system, as are these numbers, as are these dotted line support points. Yeah, you take this out, this got room. This got room. Bitcoin at 67. Hey, Bitcoin went to resistance and sat there for 5 days. Very 2021, right? Straight up to the resistance. Oh, hey, it's not backing off. Next thing you know, whoop. Be pretty funny if this whole thing between now and consensus was like a new high in Bitcoin, with Bitcoin then coming off and then ETH rampaging. That could happen. Nobody's respecting resistance in Bitcoin. Now let's talk about Solana. This is slightly more complicated. So on the Solana weekly chart, okay, this is not labeled right. This is a weekly chart. You have a 13 top. Actually, I'm going to make it labeled right, because that's too important to get wrong. Okay, so on a Solana weekly chart, you have a 13 top. Now, it's not the most grisly, ugly 13 top, but it still is, right? Now, when you get a 13 top, one of two things happens. It goes down immediately, or it goes into a blow-off top mode. This little dash right here is going to be a line. It's at 250. So if things get wild in Solana and Solana doesn't go down off this signal, which it may not, it's going to go to 250. So if it's a top and it's supposed to be a top, but it's not a top, it goes to 250. Solana on a 4-hour chart versus ETH. Now, Solana's up 6%, ETH's up 2% today, as of now, May 20th. What is going to happen if Solana actually does top versus Ethereum and Solana goes up 1 to 2% a day and ETH starts moving in 5 to 6% increments? Well, then Solana versus ETH would kind of glide lower, which, you know, that's possible. I mean, I personally, I can tell you right now, I moved from Solana to Ethereum because I'm going after, I just call him my guy. Solana, 4-hour chart. Okay, this is hidden pivot analysis. This is Williams oscillator near zero, which means you could have a big move in Solana. Today, you know, it could be like, wahoo, you could have 200 today. Seriously. Now, if that happens, if Solana takes out 179, you would basically maybe making a very powerful statement. Conversely, if Solana doesn't take out 180, that's not the end of the world. You just move to ETH. So if Solana goes up, it's bullish. If Solana doesn't go up a lot, it's bullish for ETH. It's still bullish. Right? I learned that in stocks. If it doesn't go up, it'll go up. You know, that's just how you think of it. Solana above 180 is 250. Okay. If Solana is not above 180, but the market is still stable, that's 4,000 ETH. MicroStrategy. You know, we had video game store story last week. I was actually worried that somebody was going to get liquidated. Somebody may, but not today. 2100 is an upside target in MicroStrategy. This 4 right here, this indicates with this little signal here from the oscillator, again, quantitatively drawn, it gave you the bottom, and this 4 means that this was a correction and that there should be a new high. 2100 is the target for MicroStrategy. 1600 is the price, and 20% of the overall shares of MicroStrategy are sold short, most likely as a hedge against the Bitcoin ETF. You watch this thing just fly. Popcat. It's over for meme coins, right? 62% retracement of this up move in Popcat. It retraced to 33 cents. I don't see any reason why this thing can't go back to its high. because Pepe and Bonk may go with it. Now, some of the stuff that's been wrecked. Normie, you've got a 13 and a 9 bottom on a daily chart. So this thing pops up and then comes back off again. It's not a bull market until you can buy a dip and make money. Now, I use this because this was a devastating down move. If you can buy a dip in some of these like tier B coins, like, you know, Pepe, Bonk, Doge, and then you start stepping down into like, you know, Popcat, pajamas, Normie, higher, that type of stuff. You start getting it. You start getting perky here, and then Doge takes off. If you can buy this dip and make money, then you know it's on, because you'd be reversing some major downtrends. Like, for example, you have Ondo at one end of the spectrum, like BlackRock, DeFi, real world assets. That stuff never went down and is making new highs. This is called dispersion. Some stuff's making new highs and some stuff's still getting crushed. You got to be smart in altcoins. But if the stuff that's getting crushed stops going down and starts going up, that's when you can have alt season. Aero, oh my God. The DeFi trading engine behind Base, right? Coinbase's decentralized network with a fiat on-ramp and off-ramp. Holy cow. Wait until normies figure this out. I'll probably be at 100K Bitcoin. But, you know, Aero, hammered, right? 1, 2, 3 times. The first time you got 9 bottom. The second time you got 13 bottom. This thing's at $1. It's a dollar, like Uniswap after the crash last time. You know, went to like, I don't know, $2. Went from 8 to 2 and then from 2 to 20. Why is this different? This is not different. Matter of fact, this is better. This is better because normies are going to get involved. You know, MetaMask, all that stuff. Are you kidding me? I've used this Base network. It is unbelievable. You're in like a Coinbase wallet. You're moving in fiat. You can do Solana on there now on the Coinbase wallet. It's incredible. Not traded, not even talked about. Nobody wants to talk about Coinbase's stock. I think Coinbase's stock is going to go up 40%. It's just a question of time. SEAM, another Coinbase coin launching itself. True Finance. Okay, True Finance up weekly. 9 top. 9s can be a top or a pause. This was like both. Now these red numbers are like, this is resuming. And if you don't know anything about technical analysis, this is a moving average. A computer generates it, but it's like it's held 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It's called a bird on a wire getting ready to fly. This part is, right? So if True Finance goes, Maker goes, ETH DeFi goes, you know, JTO staking on Solana, the Patreon store is filled with like $12 reports. Gaming, you know, I'm going across sectors here. Degen, just, oh my God, what they did to this coin, right? It's attached to a social media. You know, we don't need decentralized social media, or do we? There's like massive support down here. They've been hammering it for days, and then boom, it pops. And there are signals here that the next material dip in Degen could be like Aero, where you actually get a bottom. Again, this is the stuff that's gotten destroyed. There's actually other stuff. Like, again, Solana is up only. Solana led the whole cycle, and these coins followed in the beginning. So, again, everyone's like, oh, I missed it. No, man, you haven't missed anything. What you've missed is all the pain and all the doubt. You know, that's real. Degen on a short-term chart, constructive. Again, good bounce. Next dip might be the last dip. Here's my guy, right? Teacup and handle. Human meme coins. You got one at like 300 million. You got another one at like 250 million. And you got a third one around 20 million. Three-man show for what happens the month after October. You think this isn't going to be a $1 billion betting market? And whoever the winner is, that coin couldn't trade at 1, 2, 5, 10 billion? You don't think so, huh? Well, I got my money where my mouth is, and so do other people. And I think, you know, between now and October, these things can all go up. They can all go up. The market cap of the sector is mispriced. DeFi is underpriced. RWA is underpriced. AI is underpriced. Like tier 2 B-level, B-movie meme coins are underpriced. Low-cap meme coins are underpriced on Solana. And so are the human meme coins. And that's the market update. Okay, let's get busy on live TA. T-Bone, oh my God, dude, with the super chat. Okay, Bill, better long-term play. Wow. Appreciate the super chat. That's tough. I'm going to go outside the box. Okay, so between MicroStrategy and Coinbase, short term, I think Coinbase. MicroStrategy isn't going to be long term because it's going to get taken over. So I guess that means it could go up a lot. But in terms of like what you want to hold 10 years from now, I think it's Coinbase. Because I don't think Coinbase is going to sell to anybody. Everybody thinks BlackRock's going to buy Coinbase. Coinbase may go out and buy a legacy investment bank. In terms of like what I think is like massively underpriced. So T-Bone, to answer your question is Coinbase. I know that's outside the box, but MicroStrategy has huge upside. But if you were looking to hold a stock for 10 years, I would say Coinbase. Okay. Galaxy Digital. Somebody put on my Twitter what the US symbol for this is. Crypto hedge fund. No one wants it. It's trading at 12. The all-time high is 43. How high can these crypto stocks go? Massively. Here comes the screen share. Galaxy Digital. Trading at 13. The all-time high is 43. You know, like, I don't know. Let's try the equivalent in Coinbase, right? Coinbase came out in the bear market at 400. It's currently trading at 217. So you could have a 2x in Coinbase just to get back to where it was in the bear market. In the bear market. It's kind of almost funny, right? Okay. All right. Yeah, we got to do VRA for Rudy. Here's Doge. You have a head and shoulders that forms the right shoulder of a bigger head and shoulders. They both have upward sloping necklines. When Elon gets involved at consensus or otherwise and starts taking Doge, I don't understand why no one understands how big that whole trade is going to be. I don't understand why people don't get this. This could lead the whole market all by itself. Okay, let's get VRA going here for Rudy. Okay. Before we do that, so it looks like the GME move is manifesting in something called ZACK. This is absolutely not investment advice because it's really small, right? But it's funny how memes of people are doing well. And it's funny how, you know, like this is doing great. So it's good. It's a good news item. But memes of people, prominent financial leaders, etc., got nowhere to go. In my opinion, like I said, my money is where my mouth is. You saw what I own. If you don't, go to my Twitter. Because I'm getting hurt. I'm getting hurt talking about it. But there isn't going to be any way to not talk about it at some point. We're almost there. Okay, so VRA for Rudy, if he's out there. And I see a lot of this, right? Just like a massive attack of support. Like all the fib numbers got blown out. Everything looks terrible. And in reality, if you look at VRA, like a lot of the destroyed part of the market looks like this. This coin is now back to where it was in June of 2023. 2023. So it unwound all of this year and most of last year. Like there's one thing none of my people in Patreon or on the market update are ever going to say They're never going to say, I missed it because nobody told me. I'm telling you, right? This is a classic example. Now, is this going to go turn around and go back to the moon? I don't know. Rudy knows the fundamentals better than I do. Okay, he knows it better than I do. But I mean, again, do you really want to get in front of a market? Do you really want to be negative on a market that acts like this and has unwound all of the support? God, look at this thing. There's a couple guys on Twitter that like this Ponke coin. Man, obviously we know why, right? I mean, this is what can happen. I mean, a monkey market coin on Solana now has a $250 million market cap and is up only. And that's the market update. I mean, if this is the kind of speculative juices that are out there, somebody mentioned INJ, INJ, CAS, all this stuff. I'm totally going to be covering this in Patreon. Oh my God, look at this, up 14%. Now, I think the larger point when you look at this, tell me what happened here. Tell me what happened. Okay, here's injective protocol, 3 days. Okay. Never in my life, really. And I have to be responsible for the fact that I did not think this was going to happen like this. I just didn't. Right now we have Williams oscillator, and I'm sure this is also everywhere. You have Williams oscillator near zero, hinting at a big move. Oh, wait, it's up 14%. Oh, and how many days did they give you to get this on top of the 62% retracement? They wicked it down there. They left it kind of close to it. They puked it to, what was that, 2 days ago? That's up only. It's up only, right? I mean, what is going to stop this from going back to its high? Nothing. Nothing. Like, everybody's been washed out. Everybody gave up. Who's the seller? Why? No, seriously. Why is Fetch up 7%? Why is Injected Protocol up 14%? Why is Marathon Digital, T-Bone, up 15%? There's no sellers left. There's no sellers. Everybody is sold out. Everybody is sold out. There's no buyer. Everyone left. Okay. Crypto M says, do you bet more on base or Sol coins? The base coins got wrecked. I've actually gone back into Sol coins because I wanted to do my human meme coin. The human meme coin that I like launched cross-chain. ETH, Sol, and base. I started on Sol. I'm moving to ETH because I think they're going to have staking with some sort of reward that could be a collectibles. It's going to be a coin, but that coin, theoretically, it's not out yet. It's just on the, we would like to list. That could be a collectible like the big man's NFTs, except this could be a coin. Like I can't get enough of that. Right? I'm trying to get over to ETH with it. Okay, what else? What else do we got here? Bob Marsh is down with True. Jennifer is here. Okay, T-Bone is asking, no one is talking about FEX, AGI, or Ocean converging in a few. No one's talking about AI on a blockchain. I just can't believe it. When Novogratz gets on the stage, he's going to look at everybody and goes, you guys can't buy it because we bought it all. We bought it all. Good luck finding that stuff if Novogratz, if that's true. Angela, what's up? Oh, wait. Phantom hit the 62% retracement. Yeah. Here's something we can start drawing. When you get a 62% retracement of a move like this, this is what you draw. 1, 2. You get a 50 or a 62% retracement of a 3-wave. Then you get the 4-wave, and then you get this. And, of course, this is a public service announcement that Phantom has been destroyed. And Phantom is fast. This was like a hot DeFi platform, like all the total value locked in 2021. Like went from ETH to Solana to Avalanche to Phantom, and we played this game of where all the hot liquidity was going to go. And in reality, when you have Phantom, you have a layer one, which no one talks about anymore. No one talks about layer ones at all. A couple groups talk about the small ones, right? There's also Omni, which is like a layer one aggregator, which I absolutely love, right? The bigger the base, the higher in the space. And look, if you took all this fancy stuff off, right? What has Phantom done? Oh, look, it broke out of the base. I mean, the big man's coin looks like this. Broke out. I missed it. I'll never get it again. They dropped it to 65 cents, and now it's off to the races. And people probably think they can't buy it up 10%. And guess what? You probably can. You can probably buy it up 10%. You can probably buy the next dip. Off to the races. Here we go. You may have to ignore percentage down moves, and you may have to get this on any dip between now and the end of June, no matter how scary it is. No matter how scary it is, right? Okay, Dragon Jones giving me some love for telling it straight. I am not famous yet, but I like to pride myself, even when I'm wrong, on telling it straight. You know what? I missed the top. I missed the top. I didn't miss the top because I moved to Bitcoin and Solana and just sat there. I missed the crash. And you know what? I don't care. Because in this cycle, you're going to look at this and be like, oh, well, whatever. Who cares? Hey, this is near from the bull market. 2021. Watching me do some spurious TA on the fly. You are here in near. Anybody want to do 20 in near? They had a booth at Consensus last year in the bear market when the place was like empty. What do you think it's going to look like this year? Forget about it. Forget about it. Atlas Navi? Is that like a real coin? I don't know. I'm going to have to confirm what that is. Patriot Caveman. Let me see if I can get it over here. Atlas. And don't worry, I'm going to try to get to everybody's coin today. I see Star Atlas. We'll check it out later. Ping me in Patreon. Okay, let's see what else is here. Trisha's in the house from Twitter. Welcome. Hey, Bill, why did Bitcoin drop from 71 to 58 with all the big players and no one ever explained that to us? Okay, well, that's a good question. So what happened when Bitcoin dropped was, I think people got emotional about runes and they got emotional about ordinals. And the market itself got totally euphoric. Then you came out with a macro scare on inflation, which no one expected. People expected like, inflation's going to moderate. Well, it didn't. So you had euphoria and then you had a macro scare at the same time. And you had a geopolitical event go on as well. So that's what happened. You know, it was more buyers than sellers on the way up for a good reason. And then the institutions, knowing that they had to buy, took advantage of the down move and just crushed everything. Just what I would have done. If I had to buy billions upon billions upon billions and there were multiple negative catalysts and retail was uber long, just wash everyone out. Now that went on way longer than I thought it did, but who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I mean, yeah, I know people got stopped out. I lost money. You lost money. You know, people who listen to me lost money. So what? Now what? That's my attitude. This market's probably going to give you a couple more chances in June. Take it. I mean, you know, this is the 3-day chart of ROSE. Shake you out. The bigger the base, the higher in the space. What's happened in this market? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing has happened for a year. Like here's the 3-day chart of ROSE. Nothing has happened here. Nothing. Except this. A retest. Every single coin has this or a 62% retracement. They just came back down here and retested this. And everybody's created this whole narrative around the retest. And nobody ever thought that. It's like, you know, if I had told you up here that you should sell all your crypto and it'll crash and you'll get to buy it where it was in January of 2023, you would have turned me off. You would have just been like, no, I'm not doing it. Now, that said, every single altcoin is not going to come back. It's not. That's why you have some of these coins making new highs and some of these coins doing nothing. Okay. Like EGLD is a coin doing nothing, but if it reclaims the 62% retracement at 44. So there are a lot of reclaims still out there. So if you love this and you think this thing can go up above, if you think this thing can go up, and if it does go above 44, it's going to go up a lot. That's kind of counterintuitive. You know, TAO, you know, oh yeah, it's an AI coin and no one wants it anymore. You know, TAO, this is the opposite. This is the opposite of what happened at the top, right? TAO is going to leave all of these people who liquidated in this band here. Like all of this giving up. Like, look at this. This is a 4-hour chart. Like, I've been kind of big into like looking at candles. I mean, just look at this 4-hour chart. Maybe we can zoom in and go to 89 minutes on this, right? I mean, this is like total down only. This is down. It was like one green candle down only. Let's go to it's the 4-hour chart was better. When you see this, this is where it is. When you see this, like rally, fail, down only. That's people giving up. This is TAO 4-hour. This is like some kind of major AI coin, as I understand it. Forget about it. You know, SEI, people were paying like $1 for this thing. It's now at 58 cents. It's up 10%. Everyone's going to think they can't buy it. But look where this thing is relative to its high. Oh, look. And it hit the 62% retracement twice and went up. I mean, we could sit here and do this all day. All day. By the way, that's what Patreon's for, because that's what Patreon is. I'm in there with podcasts. We were doing 2 a day last week. Pond. 62% retracement. They hit it down there 3 times. 3 times. Do I need to know what this is? Not really, because the whole market looks like this. Render. Okay, so here's your dispersion, right? A lot of stuff's way down. Like if you looked at Degen and Normie, that's an example. DPIN, render, 2-day chart. Like, what's going to stop this? There's resistance at like 12.5. The ultimate downside target is probably 18. Like if we switch to like a 4-hour look on this. So first of all, what do you notice here? Williams oscillator near zero. You know, renders up 5% today. This is May 20th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. How wild do you think this can get? By the way, another note, this is the 4-hour chart of render. ETH is famous for this, and I learned this by charting it by hand. Square consolidations are bullish. Triangles are never bullish in crypto. That always resolves itself with crypto falling out the bottom. But these square formations like this, which, by the way, are everywhere. They are everywhere bullish. 0x0. Man, would they have done to anything privacy related? Holy cow. There's a guy on Zcat. There's a guy on Twitter. Okay. He just sits around and marvels at the lack of a bid in anything privacy related. It's incredible. Somebody was asking about VeChain. Okay, so everything I drew on the VeChain chart, this was a diamond, which I thought was going to resolve to the upside. Look at this. Oh, my God. They thought it was breaking out of the diamond on the upside, and then they turned around and just dropped it. This was the downside target. I mean, that's just like, I would not, over here, I would not have been like, oh, yeah, absolutely, this is going down. I mean, when it failed, it was obvious, but you know, I don't know. VeChain didn't get to the downside target of the diamond, but VeChain is getting rid of the distraction here. VeChain went all the way back down to where it was in January. It's still there. It's still there. Okay. Somebody says, influencers ever explain what happened to Bitcoin? Went to 71. Okay. He thought it was set and forget. All right. You know what, man? I thought it was set and forget too. It's never set and forget. You know, the market gave you dips. First, the market went up and you thought there was going to be no dip. Then it'll go up. People will wait for the dip. There won't be one. Bull markets are harsh. This is a good example. Now let's just bring the Bitcoin chart up while we're talking about it. Right? It's like, I got stopped out. I got crushed. This is what bull markets do, right? They are just as hard as bear markets. They're just as hard, right? Bear markets like, oh my God, everything gets, you know, bull markets are like some giant party, you know, no. Bull markets, they will shake you out. They will shake you out. And if you got shaken out, I understand that that's horrible. Unless you lost all your money, which is why I wanted to sit in Bitcoin and Solana. You know, I at least got that part of it right? Because I mean, this seems obvious now. You could have some crazy stuff. A head and shoulders bottom, for anybody who doesn't know, is 3 attempts to go down. 1, 2, 3. The bears get all grouchy. They get all angry. It's very emotional here. See this big red candle? Looks like it's going to 0, and then the bulls turn around, and next thing you know, the bears are all running scared. And your target is this distance from the point of the breakout. That is 73. And I'm telling you, nobody wants to pay 68. You had a triangle like this. You took out the bottom here. And then you're probably going to turn around and take out the top. That's probably how it's going to be. If you look at a daily chart of both Bitcoin and Solana, let me see if I can do this on the fly. If you put some kind of linear regression channel on this, as I recall, so you go to technicals, linear regression channel, and maybe you change it to 200 days, which is almost a year. Yeah. Here was Bitcoin down at the bottom, right on this like mathematically drawn regression channel. And then at the top of the channel is 85. You don't think this can go to 85 in July? Oh, I think you should think again, right? Now, you know, they can play around in this range. I think ETH is better personally. I mean, ETH never really got to the bottom of its range after it was super sassy and took out the top over here. Just for laughs, let's see what happens if I change this to 250 days, which is like a year. Yeah, it becomes perfect. So 250 business days is roughly a calendar year. ETH hits right there. And they were selling it down there and selling it down there and selling it down there. And the channel target up here, say for the end of July, is 4,600. And that is the market update. That is the market update. I know there were more coins in here. I'm looking. I see Render, Aiken, love you, man. Bounce, auction token on Coinbase. Cool. Okay, well, there's your regression channel. Let's change it back to 200, see what we get. Okay. Not getting anything there. Let's try Fib Retracement. Okay, so again, this is very much like what we've seen before. It's got a ways to go to get back above 62%, but basically it came back to where it was in July of 2022. So whatever this is, it's back where it was before FTX, or as FTX was like coming to its crescendo right before that auction. Again, I don't know what it is. If you know what it is, and if you know what it is and you think it's ridiculous that it's back where it was prior to FTX melting down, right? I mean, Bob Marsh looking at BLZ. I mean, again, we could do this all day. We could do it all day. Okay, so with this, with BLZ, I want to say this was a coin from Patreon that we liked. So this obviously did well, but then you had negative momentum divergences here, right? You had all these new highs, but you didn't get new highs in price. Now, that said, this seems like it's some kind of expanding triangle. Expanding triangles, like if they take out the bottom-ish part. Not exactly sure how to draw this, but, you know, this may have one or two more down days. Maybe this momentum oscillator takes a while to catch up. When you have expanding triangles, if you break out at the top, oh my God. This is what you had in equities on 4-hour charts of the S&P, all when the Fed started to do QE. I learned about expanding triangles the hard way because it would break down, and I thought it was going to go. You know, this is what happened to me, to the point where, you know, I think they were emailing my reports to central banks and hedge funds going, up. The chart guy just saw the break below the bottom. Everyone is selling and getting stopped out, so buy. Like in equities, we would get this. The old trader reclaim, like what happened in Bitcoin. Okay. Again, on and on and on and on. Okay. Whatever I can't get here, I am going to have to get in Patreon. Listen to me. This whole thing about the cycle being over is absolute bunk. Solana is telling you that. Solana led the way the first time. I don't know why this time is different. Right? The Solana memes are coming back. The big memes could make new high. Ethereum has done nothing. The macro case for Ethereum is incredible with precious metals rallying. The overall debt problem in the economy is ridiculously bullish for Bitcoin. AI altcoins destroyed. DeFi, real world assets. Some of that stuff never even went down. That's Ondo. Some stuff like Aero did go down. So what are we waiting for? Yes, we're going to get dips. We got 2 last week. The market traded terrible. And you know what, folks? It always trades terrible at a low. That's why it's a low. It never trades bad at the top. As one person noted, at 71, it was set and forget. It looked fantastic. It was unbelievable. It's like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. This is never going down in my lifetime. Boom. And of course, they were selling it this weekend, last week. It's like, I had to close my laptop. I was like, you know what? I can't look at this. I'm done. Bottom, boom, everything up 10% 2 days later. Now, the bottom line is, I don't care what happened on the way up. I don't care if you missed your coin before it went up 10%. The one thing that cannot happen here is you cannot let your mind and your head get screwed up. You can't be like, I bought the top, I sold the low. I did in some cases. Forget about it. Absolutely forget about it. You got to keep your head straight, because 6 to 12 months from now, you're going to look at these prices and this decline and be like, God, we should have been all over that. And that's why I want you in my Patreon group. That's why I want you on the market update, because we're doing it like coin by coin. We got a whole store full of altcoins. We got all kinds of things I've done over the last week, and there's going to be more. We'll see you tomorrow.